Hello, Pisces. How are you, my dear water friends? So, Pisces, we're going to do a reading for you. I'm feeling compelled to do a blind spot reading. I don't know why. It keeps popping up. Before I came up here to sit at the table, it kept coming into my mind. Blind spot reading for Pisces. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a blind spot reading for you. We're going to start with the well-known Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and then we are going to go into the Millennial Thoth deck and see what we can pull out, see what kind of juicy information comes out. It's kind of fairly open. I'm going to leave it fairly open. I might ask questions like why is this blind spot there, or what you need to know that you don't see about it. Oh, look, I'm just going to leave it open. I'm going to see what comes out and move on from there. All right, Pisces. Oh, there is an extended at the end of this. The link is at the top of the description if you are drawn to it. So, Pisces, let's get started. Blind spot for Pisces. Blind spot for Pisces. Blind spot for Pisces. What is the blind spot for Pisces? Blind spot for Pisces and Pisces blind spot. Ooh, work. Little beaver. Sometimes it's hard to keep a straight face when you have to talk about the little beaver. I don't know, Pisces, let's not make this a Pisces reading. It's such an ingenious little guy. I mean, this dude is an architect. Come on. Really smart. So really smart, working from sun up till sundown and really enjoying it. So when I see the beaver card, it does remind me of work, because they are known for working so hard. At least, it's Canada's symbol. And here in Canada, I can't remember. Are they on the nickel? I think they're on the nickel. Yeah, I think. But they work so hard. But they're happy. They love their work. So I want to say, if you're not loving your work right now, maybe you're going to be loving your work, or there's some sort of new work opportunity coming towards you. I don't know where this is going. So you have the fox at the bottom. Maybe you're going to look good. You're going to look good at work. You're looking good at what you do. You're feeling good about it, or you will be. This is a blind spot. Well, let's find out how this beaver card is the blind spot for Pisces. There are things that go on here in Canada that we cannot explain, and we don't take any second meaning in them. But as soon as I start talking about it on here, I see in the comments, I'm thinking, no. I had that problem, was it yesterday, with Regina, Regina, which is the capital of Saskatchewan. And that's how we pronounce it. I know you can also pronounce the same word, Regina, the Latin word for queen, which we learned yesterday. But the beaver is a very noble little animal. I think he's a rodent too. Yeah, his teeth are constantly growing. He's got to cut down the trees. So you got to do it. It just feels like you got to do it. You have such a passion about what you do. You got to do it. Okay, so tell us more. Can you tell us more about this beaver card, this blind spot for Pisces? What is this blind spot for Pisces? The itty bitty beaver. One, the Queen of Cups. You do love what you do. You're going to. The Eight of Pentacles. I told you it has to do with work. Don't put anything in here that doesn't need to be in here. And then a Justice card. Oh, wow. Something is coming to some sort of Ten of Cups. The Five of Wands is the bottom. Behind that. I'm kind of focused on here. It kind of feels like your work is about to get really good. Your work is about to get really, really good. There's going to be a lot of love and happiness and balance in your work. Even though you may do it from sun up to sundown. Too, because look at this. It's kind of like the sun is setting or rising in this picture. And it is the alchemical symbol for the sun. Is in this Eight of Pentacles. It is the sun in Virgo. Virgo, work. All the work that you've done is paying off. all the time that you've taken. So something good is going to go on at work for you. And you, the Queen of Cups, and Justice here. The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Ooh. You could be starting something new. Because I didn't say the end and the beginning. It's the Alpha and the Omega. So the Alpha, the beginning. You could be taking on something new, either a new position, a new job. It might even be something that you want to start on your own, like something that you have a lot of passion and love for. But whatever this is, I feel like it takes you to the end. Like it's kind of like the job for you. I don't know how I ended up on this odd angle. I don't move the tripod. It's a little doohickey attached. Sorry. My ADD takes over. My God, that is not centered. This, yeah, you have something coming up here, and there's a lot of happiness. You have the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Cups. You have justice and balance here. Equal opportunity, equal give and take, equality. Maybe there's some sort of equality in your workspace that you're not experiencing now, but you will be in the future. I'd like to know more about this Justice card for you. Balancing all sides of a story here. The Justice card for Pisces. Now, it did land on the Queen of Cups. Wow, bound. You have the Devil. What kind of guy are you going to work for? What kind of guy or gal you going to work for the Devil? No, but this feels like balance. Tell me about the Justice card. Oh, yeah, you're going to be released from something. You're going to be released from something toxic here. There's something you've been working on. It does. It kind of screams to me like actual work, like your place of business, your place of employment, but it might not. It could just be something that you've been putting a lot of work into. And you've put a lot of yourself into something. But there's like you're freeing yourself from the Devil. You're going to free yourself from the Devil. You are with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Swords. I feel like very much expecting this. You expect it. You expect this release. You expect the clarity in this. This is definitely coming in. Maybe this is why you're happy. Maybe this is why you're so happy at work. Maybe you work at a really shitty place and the people there are all miserable. And you're walking around a big smile because you know you're getting released from the Devil. The Eight of Pentacles. What is this that you've been working on? What is this Eight of Pentacles for you? It's the Six of Pentacles. It's got to be your work, man. It's got to be where you work. Putting in a lot of yourself, giving from a higher place here. Maybe you're in some sort of position of authority. But if it feels like the Devil too, like you're trapped, maybe you're trapped in some sort of a contract. You're being released from a contract. The Justice card or adjustment. It's interesting, the beginning and the end are locked in with chains here, with the Alpha and the Omega symbols. The beginning and the end are locked in with chains for balance. And of course, the Devil has got the feminine and the masculine, perhaps the Alpha and the Omega. And I'm only putting male as Alpha first, just following biblical context. She was made from his little riblet, so maybe he did come first. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. It's like the chicken and the egg. So there's something here that is not just. You're going to be released from it. That's the best thing to know ever. And you give a lot of yourself here. You give an awful lot of yourself. It's the Queen of Cups. So there you are. Six of Cups. Oh yeah, you give a lot. The Six of Cups and the Hanged Man. Even the Hanged Man is kind of like Piscean energy for me, seeing things in a different way here. The Six of Cups. Is this from your, how is this from your past? You have a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of history here. It doesn't have to be your workplace. It feels kind of heavily for me of that, but it could be something that you have been putting a lot of work into here. You have a lot of nostalgia, and that could be, I'm hearing 3. That could even just be 3 years for some reason, but depending on, if you're there from sun up to sundown, and you've been doing this for 3 years of your life, or possibly more, whatever this commitment or bind is, or has been, you see it differently. You've come to some sort of recognition with it where you see it differently, and you are in sort of a holding pattern. I don't know if this is a blind spot for you. Do you? Do you know that you're being released from this? That seems pretty, yeah, because you have the 3 of Wands like you expected. You're waiting and watching for this to happen. Tell me about the little beaver. Tell me about the little beaver. There's like whole 4 cards that came out. Tell me about the little beaver. Well, you're going to go. I feel like, okay, on some level here, this is what's clarifying the beaver. On some level here, I feel like when you started, you had much to learn. But like you've created quite a bit of victory here for yourself. Now, I do feel like this is also telling us, because this is how you go through cycles. You might learn a lot where you've been, and it may not just be things like in your life that you work on, or you feel intentional work towards. But it is in some aspect, you come out of something, kind of like graduate from that lesson or that place of work or that relationship or connection, and then you go on to something new and you kind of start fresh. You always seem to put yourself in a position of learning something new. It's kind of like if you've always been a mechanic and you've always worked on Toyotas, well, then you're going to maybe still be a mechanic, but you're going to work on Audis. You do something here so that there's always more to learn, and it brings you success. And then you reach that. You're going to reach a really good success here with whatever you're being released from. You have reached a good success. Really, you have the 6 of Wands and the 6 of Pentacles here. You've created quite a bit of success. I feel like emotional fulfillment, but maybe this is what fulfills you emotionally, is not always to be stuck in the same place, like to move on to something new, to learn something new. It kind of reminds me of like years and years ago, before I got into like doing food safety audits. I used to do like a lot of the grunt work, like as a pest control technician, and I used to go in and out of so many places. And I always felt like the girly girls used to drive me nuts. Like, I don't know how you can do that. And I would sit there and think, I don't know how you can sit at the same desk all day and do that every day. I get to go to so many different places. But it was like, because you learn so much about so many different things, and like the back workings of so many different things. Like I did everything from funeral homes to tobacco facilities in Mexico, to food processing plants, to courtrooms, schools, churches, like you name it. It was really fascinating. And I kind of like, this feels like that energy of not being in the same place for the same amount of, like, well, maybe it's not the same. I don't know what this is, but it really, with this Page of Pentacles, like you complete something here, the Alpha and the Omega, and then perhaps you start the Alpha and the Omega again. Yeah, like, right? Can you imagine going to the same place every day for 20 years with the same people? It drives me crazy. I guess there's people that can do that though. I shouldn't say, well, this, yeah. I don't really see Pisces as one to do that. You kind of seem to, at least the Pisces that I know, the Pisceans that I know, are a little bit more fluid, like what I'm reading here. I could maybe see this like Capricorn or Virgo or even Taurus. That would be very earth. And yeah, you know what you do? You have Taurus and you have Capricorn energy as major arcana in this. But you have a way of freeing yourself from it. And you still, though, continue to have some sort of, you ground the divine. You ground the concept of, I'm hearing brotherly love, so maybe you do that. You ground the concept of brotherly love and you bring it down here to earth. But you do it in a way that you allow yourself to learn as much as you can in that experience. And maybe they're not always great experiences. Like maybe there's a lot of difficulty or difficult personalities to deal with. And yeah, you're about to be freed from something here. So what I want to know more actually about, yeah. I'm going to use a different deck. I'm hearing to use a different deck. What do I use? I'm going to use this deck. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the Lightseer's Tarot. I want to know more about, like, you're being freed from something here. And where are you going? Like, what is this going to be on the other side? If it truly is a blind spot for you that you don't see this coming, but I kind of feel like it does. Like, it feels like completing a contract. It really feels like completing a contract. Come on. I don't see any other way and being aware of it. I mean, adjustment. This is a lot about contracts. Could be in the ethereal. It could be three-dimensional. It feels kind of three-dimensional to me with the Devil card, with the major arcana of the Devil here, and being contracted to something, being bound to something, but anticipating the release of this. So where are you going from here? Maybe you have contract work in a place and it's about to end and you're thinking, well, what's coming around the corner? So maybe I can find out for you, and that can be part of this blind spot reading. Because this is, yeah, this is the end of something. Something is coming to a completion that you've put a lot of work and your heart and soul into. And you've learned a lot in the experience. And you're going to move on. I feel like this is a cycle for you of learning a lot from the experience, from the new environment. So, okay. Temperance, the Magician. Patience. Patience and the Magician. Something is being manifested here, but it has not yet. I don't think you know where you're going, and I don't think the universe does. No, the universe knows. But there's some sort of balance that's taking place here between the unknown and wish fulfillment. You see the way this Temperance card, the way he's kind of playing with the sun and the moon there. It's kind of moving that around him. And that's sort of like, to me, the game of the unknown and the known. The clarity and the mystery. And then here, step one. So you are starting something from the beginning with the Magician, which is a really good way to start something. And it's major arcana. So it is a major aspect. You know, this could be one of the last stops for you, whatever that means. The Alpha to the Omega. Is this next place the place for you? I don't know, until retirement or you're finished or... The King of Cups. Whatever this is, I feel like it's much more free-flowing for you. It's much more free-flowing for you. Sorry, I had a snack before I did this video, and I really swished my mouth out a lot, but I think... So I kind of choked on it there. You never know when you're going to get a new treat or a snack when you have braces and crap in your mouth. The Magician and the King of Cups are not looking. And they're both using their hand. This is a different journey that you're about to take. This is a more free-flowing journey. Look at this. Look at the free-flowing energy here. Look at how they're both utilizing their hands. You might even be going to do something. Maybe you're going to be a healer on some level. An artist. I hope you save some money. I learned that one, I think, in high school when I was doing like career searches. You know, I'm going to be poor if I'm an artist. Yeah. Something. Look at this swirling. Okay. Look at the swirling that's going on here. And I want to say it's somehow taking the unknown and making it known, because this is leading into it. It's creating the magic, but it's not really three-dimensional yet. But now look at how we still have the hand movement, but now we have it touching a singing bowl. So it's becoming something. I feel like you're making this. I don't know if you're going off on your own to start a business. It's more free-flowing. I don't feel like you need to wear a suit and a tie. Was anyone wearing a suit and a tie in here? I don't know. Well, everyone has fairly formal wear in these cards. But this is not. This is the King. The King of Cups is so informal and so in his groove. You have a lot of things, and it's radiating from your heart chakra, from your heart center. You're going to do something that you have a great deal of love for. It puts you like totally in your groove, man. I'm just hearing that. He's got no shoes on. He's sitting like somewhat in the water, almost elevated. It's an elevation in your, I want to say status, or perhaps, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with money. I wouldn't associate that with the King of Cups. If you're hoping for something with more money, I don't know that it has that, but it does definitely have more fulfillment here. You've put a lot, in the past you've put a lot of yourself into things. There's a sense of nostalgia there for you, a big sense of nostalgia from what you've done in the past. You know, I'm really feeling it's kind of that energy of, and it's there. Even if you've worked somewhere where you really, you know, the last 3-4 years or whatever it was, you just I'm like this place. And then you find a new place to go. You give your 2 weeks notice or whatever it is, wherever you are. And you're kind of like excited about it. And then on the last day, it almost feels hard to walk out. And because sometimes in some of the hardest or more difficult situations that you may have had to work through, you can also become really close with certain people, not everyone, hopefully not everyone where you are spending a lot of your time as a jerk, but there's going to be people that you bond with, and there's lessons that made you who you are, and there's a nostalgia about that. I kind of feeling that. It's coming through more like in an intuitive way in this reading here, as opposed to just what the cards are showing me. There's a nostalgia here. This could even be someone who's retiring. This could even be finishing like a college or a university degree. It just has that feeling where you've completed something. And it may not have been the easiest road, but you did a really good job in it. Whatever that was, you did a really good job. You really kept balance here. You really kept a higher perspective. You persevered. You came up with new ideas, inspiration, inspired others, were cheered on. But I almost feel like as you walk out the door, there's that nostalgia. And it's not necessarily the shitty stuff that you went through, but it's the feeling of what you went through there has made you who you are now. and it's actually who it's made you now, or who you're going to be when you come out of this, is so different. I'm trying to think of an example where, you know, you could be subjected to an environment that is a certain way, but it actually creates something completely different. Or maybe like a pearl, like in an oyster shell. Like that little bit of grit. It's really, really gritty. But over time, it actually makes something really beautiful and unique. So many different colors from so many different angles. Like that's the best thing I can come up with. Whereas you did not become whatever you were immersed in or have been immersed in. It's transformed you. And there's a nostalgia about this transformation. Yeah. Because even it's really interesting, like the Queen of Cups is in formal garb. She's all dressed formally. It's a very formal atmosphere around her in this deck. Even though there's beauty, there's love, emotion. This is really kind of, I mean, his hair is shorter, but it's letting your hair down. Yeah, you got the white beater shirt on, you got the blue jeans, no socks. You got your little Pisces fishy emblem here. Your heart is just glowing. You've become something different from whatever you've been working on. Now I'm really curious about the Queen of Swords. Are you comfortable with this being cut out? The Queen of Swords. How do you feel about this being the Page of Wands and the Empress? Yeah, you're going to something so much bigger. I think the nostalgia, I think the kind of nostalgia of whatever I'm feeling for you here is it's not necessarily temporary, but the feeling of what you know you're becoming or about to become when you move out of it is so much bigger. Like maybe you stand at the threshold of that doorway for 15, 20 seconds and you just look back, and in the hallway or the offices, whatever you're looking at, the warehouse, you, the barista, or no, those are the people that serve it. Is that right? I don't drink coffee, so I get confused. It's almost replaying quick little scenes in your mind of things that kind of made a deeper impression in your memory. And, yeah, like just look back for a second and you feel it and you're okay and you walk out because you feel something bigger for yourself. I always find it fascinating doing these readings. Like Aquarius brings me out into the stars and you guys bring me all into the feelings. You bring me into the feelings. The King of Cups. The King of Cups. Tell us about this. This is, I feel like, where you're going. Judgment. Damn. Yeah. Like it's a rebirth here. You've seen yourself for who you are. You will see yourself for who you are. You're going on a really different path here, man. Like, you're really going somewhere different. I want to know a little bit more about your Temperance card. The Temperance card, the Queen of Cups and Justice. Over here. I don't think it matters what order it came out of. The Queen of Cups and Justice. You're going towards something that is much more for you. You've been built and created by some environment you've been in, or environments that you've been in. You're being released from an aspect of environment here. Let's call it that. You are about to be released from an aspect of an environment, whether that's a relationship or work, community. It feels so much like work with the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Beaver. And then coming over here, you come into a whole new aspect of you. And it's kind of like combining your masculine and your feminine with the Queen and King of Cups. And the Magician sits in the middle of this. This could be this could even if you're not leaving a place, It also feels like if you're in something that maybe isn't the easiest position to be in, you unite two aspects of yourself and it brings you harmony on some level. Again, you could be working somewhere where I'm like, and you are the happy little one. That's your blind spot. You're going to be happy. Is that your blind spot, that you're going to be happy? You're going to be happy and content and at peace. I feel so much of that here. You're going to be happy and content and at peace. It's so beautiful. The Magician. This feels like the magic beginnings of the swirl before you ground it into something that you can touch and is tangible. The Magician. It's exactly what you're doing. Oh, you are alchemizing it. You're alchemizing emotions within you, and you're using it. You're kind of working it slowly. You may even have working on this already, but you're coming to the completion of it, like alchemizing disappointments in the past and almost using it to fuel you. That's pretty cool. It's like, it is like being a positive person and perhaps a negative situation, but not putting on, like not making it fake, like going into a really deep space here and finding it within yourself and allowing it to glow. Not being kind of, I just feel like faking it, like not having, vodka in your water bottle all day. It's all good. Don't worry about it. No, this is really grounded and beautiful. It is. What's it? The High Priestess. And then it's reversed. The Ten of Cups, the High Priestess. You're really on your way to happiness and contentment. You are releasing yourself from the devil somehow. It's beautiful. Or you are about to be released by the devil via the universe because of how you've been alchemizing emotions and feelings and what you put into things. It's so beautiful, Pisces. Really beautiful. I'm going to leave it at that. So your blind spot. You're about to hit like an area of real happiness and contentment. And all the stuff that comes out with that. So I'm going to go do the extended. I'm going to see what other information I can pull out for you. If I see you there, great. If not, I hope to see you here next week or whenever I do this. I don't know. Okay. Until next time, Pisces, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.